kind of from the easiest or cheapest, and then up to, you don't necessarily need to go to the systems that are way more expensive than yours because they're obviously irrelevant.
There's always the cold shower. That's a way to get cold. There is the caveat with that, and I think cold showers are great. I do them when I'm on the road and I travel, and it's a way to kind of shock my system and wake up a bit. It's a very different experience, from being a full body submersion into cold water and breathing through that than being in a shower for a couple minutes and you don't quite know the temperature. But it's a great spot. Get in there, you're going to feel different. If you're doing a cold shower for 2 minutes or even a minute and get out after, that's a way to start and kind of be like, what's this all about? You can always Google. They're popping up all over into commercial facilities. So you can find a spot locally that, there's so many different beautiful facilities all across the country. I think that's a great spot. Find a place, book an appointment, go over there, try it out. And then from there, you could start to, and those places are great to maybe start with if you wanted to get into it more, a membership and build some sort of consistency with it. And then from there, the next levels are, buying the horse trough and filling up with ice, hose water and ice. And that's a possibility. That's a fun to do on a Saturday with some friends, but you're not really going to be able to get the consistency with it. That's it. First, really expensive. It's time consuming. You have to, dump the water. It gets dirty. It's a good starter point. It's a good little community builder. There's always the DIY chest freezer. That's the next level up of building your own. I'm not a builder. I don't like construction. That's just so outside of where I would want to go. So I always say, if you're doing the chest freeze, make sure you're into that stuff, because you can do that wrong and it could be a pain in the ass. Exactly. The trade-offs of that could be massive. So that's a thing. And then from there, it's, you start to step into, an actual unit for the house. Like our unit's $4,900 is our base model. And that the big difference and the distinction with those, like you guys know, is it has the filtration. It's an on-demand option. So this is really about the practice. This isn't, I want to try this one time and I do this once a month. It's like, if you're doing it once a month, go find the commercial facility. That's great. Fill up your trough. If you're really trying to make this a part of your lifestyle, I want to do this every day or multiple times a week. This is the option, because it's already hard enough to get into cold water. Like, you guys have it, and you still walk out some mornings and you're like, I'm not getting in this thing. Let alone if you add in other levels of having to cool it down, or it's dirty, or draining it, or all the stuff. It's kind of the next phase into just having the practice to it. So yeah, there's different points of where you're at in the process. We see people entering in that have been doing the trough for a while, or the chest freezer, and want this unit. We have people that just jump right in. They're like, I'm in. I know I'm going to do it because I'm buying this thing. Like, that's the way I put my, put my money where my mouth is. Exactly. So that, so those are kind of that's the gauntlet of cold plunge. And then the other one, like I didn't even get into, is the natural versions. Like, where do you live? Pools are always a great option for most of the country in the wintertime. You can get, pool temperatures. Like I said, even if you're in the high 50s, you're going to get some benefit from that. It's cold, especially if you're new to it. Rivers, lakes, oceans, Pacific Ocean's obviously always cold here on the West Coast. East Coast, obviously that alters. It's, depending on where you're at in the country on the Atlantic side. So yeah, there's always the natural ones are always, just Google that, go connect into your local landscape and hop into the cold water.